Why Shark Tank? How did you made from 62,000 applications to the final round?
The panel is not as funny as it kind of looks to be. It's like Roadies, Roadies but business. Pets are something that, as man gets lonelier and as time is more on the phone and all of that, and as families are getting smaller, you understand that you need a companion kind of that's going to be there with you no matter what.
We are getting 10 to 15 minutes of prime time space in Sony.
Yeah.
I think that's worth of crores of marketing spend.
Yeah. Customers are like a majority share of my customers are tier 2 and tier 3. We've been profitable since year 1, even if the profit is like very.
December 2021 was pivotal moment for startup landscape in India when Shark Tank India was first aired on the television. From that time onwards, startup became a household term and a topic for dinner table conversations. Everybody was talking about valuations, dilution of cap table, unit economics of a business, market sizing, and also doglapan. With that, today we have a Shark Tank fame who is solving the problem of pet owners in India. Funnily enough, she has never owned herself any pets. But with the passion she has for the pets, she has grown her company from last 4 years, doubling its revenues every year. She went to Shark Tank India to get funding from Shark Tank judges. She got funding from Anupam Mittal. She got a funding commitment from Anupam Mittal. But what happened after that? And how does the whole Shark Tank process works? We'll cover all those things. With that, let me introduce who she is. Welcome to the show, Priyam. She is co-founder and CEO of Paws India. Welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here first of all, and I've been following you personally for a while. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. So let's follow the tradition. What we do is we start with the journey of our guests. So what's been your journey like?
So I basically come from a business family itself, and for us, we always wanted to do something of our own. So that's where the passion actually began. And like you say that it's like a mixture of your passion and what you exactly love to do, and you combine that and it becomes your startup idea. So that's basically currently how it's going, right? So there was so much tremendous love for animals, and that just eventually made from one product to like 100 products to like multiple brands to like an e-commerce. It just progressed for us, and basically, the love for animals is why we're here right now.
So what was the journey before you started Paws India? Because you took a step from doing a job, then you ended. So wanted to understand that.
So, journey before Paws India was basically, I just finished my management studies in finance from Bombay itself, and I got placed in JP Morgan and Chase. So, it was a little fancy bank job, and it was paying well, but it was very, very monotonous, you don't want to be doing something like that at that age for a longer period of time. So, I kind of took that as a lesson to learn how to be punctual, just come on time, just try to see, how does this function? Get hold of it, and then probably when I thought that the time is up and I need to move on from here, I did, and I took that decision in a span of a second, because there was no more time that I could spend in an organization that big and with a work that was so minuscule in the course of things. So that was roughly the journey.
Okay, so how did you start Paws India? I think you mentioned that you started with a blog. So tell us that story. How did it started?
So we just started sharing information about pets. We just started kind of fostering animals, and we just started putting posts for adoption, for people to get encouraged to come and adopt indies and any abandoned pets and all of that. That kind of eventually grew, and then we kind of liked 1 or 2 products, and we thought that why not call for it and just try to see if it sells in India. Yeah. They were expensive, we were not sure. So the idea started with putting out information, getting dogs adopted, then slowly converted into selling 1 product to 5 to 10, then to make a website and, have this whole thing going on. So it started from just basic like adopt this pet or adopt this dog. And then we kind of entered that market on its own and kind of, understood that there's a lot to be done here itself. So roughly that.
Yeah, started with blog, then went on with products also.
Absolutely.
So tell us about some of the products which you sell right now, and also wanted to cover if you sell your own products or is it a third-party product which you're selling on your?
So we're an e-commerce, so we definitely have our own private label, that's Paws India. Yeah. We've launched several firsts of India, which is probably India's first CBD oil for dogs or India's first interactive toy for dogs. We hold exclusive distribution for more than 7 brands from across the globe for Indian market. So that's roughly what we are doing right now, and it's an e-commerce. So we have a lot of Indian brands. We have from basic like Pedigree, Royal Canin to you can buy the most fanciest toys, the most fanciest clothes. So it's like a pet owner's heaven, you know. They walk in wanting to splurge and, you know, kind of are excited that, oh my God, I can buy this. Oh my God, this says good boy. So, you know, that's what I call my pet. So, you know, those small things kind of also lead to a sale for us. So it's more of a emotional kind of a buy. Yeah.
So you still don't own any pet?
So actually my mom's allergic to pets.
Okay.
That's why we don't necessarily have a pet in the house. But again, there are lots of dogs and cats that we foster, and you know, we're affiliated with a lot of NGOs and everything. But again, since I choose to stay with my mom, I'm unable to at this moment have a pet at home. But that's a sad story of my life, and everybody's like just traumatized when they hear something like this.
Nice. So this is your business model. So let's talk some numbers here.
Sure.
On your products, which is your white labeled Paws India product.
Yeah.
Tell us about how the economics works here.
So the products that are white, we actually have more of a scope to kind of work on marketing and branding for those products. A, because we kind of set the price point for the product. B, we figure out the development, the sourcing of the product. So I feel like product development is something that our company's particularly been very close to, because that's how we actually started. We started developing. So that was our first step, and unit economics on those products. So eventually when we had started, to be honest, we would sell these products on losses to just understand what is the customer feedback. Are people even into something like this? Is this actually needed, and all of that? And when we got the market validation, we tried to eventually fix the unit economics of the product also, be it the MRP, be it getting down the production cost, or be it just you know, making sure it's at par with what the competition is doing at this market, or the international standards, you can say. So it actually started for us. It goes for us like that. White label is our actual passion, to be honest. Developing products for pets, because we speak to so many pet owners on a daily basis. I can't begin to tell you the number of kind of information we get from them.
Correct.
You know, that what is happening with their pets, what's happening with them, where are the difficulties coming in. So we get direct information from the pet owner's mouth itself, and then we kind of go back to our offices and kind of try to see that is there something that can be done to fix this. That's literally how every product has been built at Paws India, because we've not taken up any product that we feel that, okay, this is not going to do any good. We don't lay our hands on something like that.
Yeah, I think customer is the best source of information. What they want, if
Absolutely.
you can create for them, you can of course sell to them.
Of course.
Got it. You mentioned that Paws India has grown over the years very fast.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How the numbers over there are.
So we've grown about 100% year on year so far, and in the middle, Shark Tank happened for us, which gave us a higher boom, even from the investors' point of view, and from the customers' point of view. It was also you know, a free marketing advertisement that's always going to stay online for us. So yeah, the last year particularly has been great, but it's probably the fruit of everything that we've done for the first couple of years, right? So touch wood, so far the growth's been great, and it's been 100% year on year. We started with as small as like 30 lakhs or something in the first year, and we're trying to do something in like about 6 or 7 crores this year in turnover. So this is our kind of, you can say, we've been here 3.5 years, and 1.5 or something was COVID, completely lockdown. But actually, to be very honest with you, the company survived through lockdown only because we were an online company, right?
Yeah.
We made sure that we're still getting to the pets, and we're still getting to the pet owners, and our offices were running as, you know, it should be running. So COVID also could not kind of, because everybody, all small businesses were super scared, right? What's going to happen? Because people were like, there was lesser scope of income, so people didn't want to spend that much. And for a splurge by a company like us, we wanted to be sure that are people actually going to invest? And when they did, we realized that, okay, this is here to stay now. Now, this, if something like a pandemic can't move it, then I feel like it's here to stay.
Also, because we're talking about the market, there has been a lot more adoption of pet in the family.
Absolutely.
If you've seen that also. So, a lot of people are adopting pets, having pets also. So, that's also increasing your market.
Absolutely. So because you see just the kind of lives that we're having right now, especially in the metropolitan, you'd be surprised that a lot of my customers are like a majority share of my customers are tier 2 and tier 3. That's very surprising, right? Because you're like the idea of pets, is it there in villages or is it there in like small towns? But it is, and it's the value is even stronger. They are a better repeat customers. They come often, they shop often, and because they don't have access to a lot of things offline, so they only rely online. So that's again something that we learned through the way. But yeah, pets are something that as man gets lonelier and as time is more on the phone and all of that, and as families are getting smaller, you understand that you need a companion kind of that's going to be there with you no matter what. Even though you're sick or not doing well, not earning well, there's going to be no like complaints here, and there's going to be no like commitment issues here, as you can say. So yeah, that's a relationship that's going to go on till you die or the pet passes away. One of you have to go away for this to end. So yeah, that's how strong the bond is. It's a, what do you say, a bond with no expectations, and that's always going to be the favorite thing in a man's life if he has a pet. Always. You ask any pet owner, I feel like they will pick their pet over anybody else in their family.
For sure.
Yeah. That's true.
Got it. Understood. So also, when you're talking about that will be crossing 6-7 crores of revenue, you are profitable as a company right now?
So there's been profit, obviously, because we're an online company. We spend a lot in terms of media and advertising in general. We have always, because we've been putting our own money so far, we've always tried to maintain the fact that we don't want to bleed since the first year, and also because we are kind of moving as things are turning positive for us, we try to pave in that direction. So it's surprising, but it's a great fact that we've been profitable since year one, even though the profit is like very minute, but there is still no negative sign right now in the balance sheet. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Also, just wanted to understand, because in this online marketing spend would be, what is the ballpark percentage you have to, or you're spending as a percentage of revenue?
You can consider, so depending on how long your company has been marketing for, probably if you're in the first year of marketing, your ROAS could be anywhere, say, as small as 2 or 3x, right? But if you're into this for about 3 years, 4 years, or even more, then your ROI a good number would be anywhere from 5 to 8. That is something, if you're not here after a couple of years, I think you should go back and kind of just look at what you have been doing.
So that's also good, because you're spending around 20% of into the market.
But you have to understand, a lot of market is also going online. There's a lot of offline share chunk that's kind of slipped away just because customers have moved online. So our audience is also growing, marketing spend also has to grow, but we just feel like for you to not particularly, I say the word bleed, I feel like you should look at a decent ROAS always. But to begin with, it can be as low as just 2x or 3x.
But at the same time, we also look at retention numbers. So that's the key.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, when you're self-funding, do you have that much money to kind of keep waiting for the retention numbers to come in? Maybe not, So you have to take a probably little, thoughtful decision of where you actually want to kind of spend on.
So now let's move on to the most exciting part. Why Shark Tank? And also tell us about what was the experience like. How did you made from 62,000 applications to the final round?
So I'll first answer why Shark Tank. Why Shark Tank was me and my dad and my mom and my brother, we sat in our living room and watched Shark Tank the whole time, and because my dad was always so engrossed in business, he would love shows like this, right? And since he would love shows like this, we had to watch it with him. And then that whole discussion of, tell me if he's going to get funded or no, and then we would bet like 10 rupees or whatever that if he gets funded, I'll give you 10 bucks, and this is not happening, this company is not going in, whatever it is. So we would have those discussions. Shark Tank has always been very active, even though we're a very orthodox household. Shark Tank has always been very active. We have followed it through years, and with OTT coming in, there was access to so much more of Shark Tank, and probably that was the first couple of shows that I finished watching entirely.
I think in COVID we would have seen. I've seen probably Shark Tank, probably everything in COVID.
COVID, right? Yeah, probably. So the Shark Tank application process is kind of long, lengthy and boring, but it's a general application process which you will have to go through if you have to kind of make it there. And there are a ton of people, because they are also crazy. The advertisement on Shark Tank is crazy. So like people come in from tier 3, tier 4, and people come in from all stages of work, right? Ideation stage, growth stage, any kind of pre-revenue, post-revenue, whatever you call it. So there were a lot of applications, and there always will be, and the more the awareness grows, the more we kind of understand how many small startups actually exist in like even villages and tier 2, tier 3, whatever it is. Even like we normally expect those numbers to come in from metros, but they are actually there in our most remote places also. So it's just basically, there's a couple of application rounds where you go online, you fill the details. It's more of, for anybody that is applying on Shark Tank right now, I would just advise that the people who are, I guess, reading it are trying to understand your story more than trying to understand your business. So I feel like your story should be what you write in your application, because they are not, probably it does not get scanned through an actual business analyst over the period of time, you know. So that's just my suggestion, that your story has to come across, because if it was not about story, why would a pre-revenue guy come on the show? It is about story, it is about what you're trying to create, it is about your ambition, your passion, and what you exactly look at things for. So I feel like, you need to add more of your story on the applications. You go through a couple of rounds, you'll obviously get notified by email that you're selected or you're not selected. You eventually go for a studio round wherein they check how you speak on camera, and that's not something like absolutely, it's not like they're choosing you or rejecting you based on how you're doing on camera, but they obviously take a test, as in, because they want to present you on camera. And so ton of applications, you get scanned through every particular stage. There are tons of people that are chucked out, and there's just a small number that moves ahead. And what's weirdly surprising is the fact that even though you get to pitch in front of the sharks, right, which was, I think, I'm not sure about the number, but it was somewhere around 160 or something that actually pitched to the shark, but the ones that actually came on TV was around like 67 or 80. So to have that cut even after pitching is like the most scariest part, because you're like, okay, now I am going to, my business is going to come on TV, I am going to come on TV, but it actually doesn't happen even though you pitch in front of it. It's more also like a luck and a destiny game.
So you don't know?
No. They let you know eventually, but it's not fixed that if you've pitched in front of the sharks, you're still going to be aired.
So also, because we only see 10 to 15 minutes of clipping, actually what happens?
The discussions are way longer. The panel is not as funny as it kind of looks to be. They talk numbers. They try to kind of check where you are at mentally, also as an entrepreneur in general, because they do not want to be investing in a person who kind of breaks down easily, or is not able to take stress, or is not able to kind of make decisions on spot, or is not very thorough with the numbers or with the concept of the business itself. So there's a lot of test, and because also it's like roadies, roadies but business. So you are standing there and there are questions coming in from all sides. Like there are 5 people sitting and they don't wait for each other to finish. They just keep shooting questions. And obviously, depending on how you have answered, some already have that mindset of, I might be able to invest here. And they kind of test you even more, and eventually, if you get a deal, you get a deal. It's purely, to be honest, it's only got to do with the day and the moment that they understood your business or they didn't. It's got nothing to do with your business. A lot of people we saw at the show, because we went through so many days of this, whole excitement, when they didn't get funded, they got absolutely shattered. Or, when the shark said no, they got, but I know some companies that went out and got crazy funding, and I was like, this is mad. You could have never secured this in Shark Tank India. So it's not the end, it's just the start. Like, I think people should use it for what it is, and people should kind of go there and showcase their business and try to see what they get. Again, it's a great advertisement also.
Yeah, of course, because
at the bottom,
we are getting 10 to 15 minutes of prime time space in Sony. I think that's worth of crores of marketing spend. So tell us about how was your how did you get deal from Anupam, and what was the deal structure like, and what happened afterwards? Because I know what happened, but tell the viewers about it.
So I got a deal which offered me, I guess, 50 lakhs, and I obviously accepted that deal on the show.
And dilution was around 15.
Dilution was 15, so my valuation was around 3.3 CR, and we were kind of close to hitting that amount of sale that year. So, that was not a fair number for us, but I get it for the show, and obviously, and we were so excited to have Anupam on board, right? Who doesn't know Shadi.com? Like, that's something we've been all hearing, right? People who are getting married, of course, but it's just a brand in general. He's created something that's here to stay, and just the name, and obviously, he's been an investor, and he invests out of passion. Correct. Right, so he doesn't invest and out of the fact that, oh my god, the market is growing. Anupam invested because he loved dogs, and because he thought that I have something good to do here, and that's the trust and the faith kind of happened on the show. And Yeah, so that was the deal, and eventually when we got out, the whole due diligence process that goes on, which is a normal investment process that actually went on for Shark Tank for quite long, probably because it was the first show and I don't know, the things were really slow. And but when so much time had passed, and it's not like you don't get the money. So for anybody who kind of thinks that you actually get the money, you do actually get the money if you kind of accept it. But as things moved ahead, we got so many offers from outside which were way better.
Correct.
And we tried kind of having a small negotiation here and there, but obviously that didn't have to work. It was because he had already committed to Sony, right, for the whatever valuation and for the funding. So it was kind of not right for us also to go back and kind of check for revaluation. But yeah, we did check for revaluation, and he politely kind of said that unfortunately he will not be able to revalue. And since we had better offers, we had to move on from there.
Okay. So but you are allowed to do that?
Yeah, of course, you are allowed to back out if you feel like eventually it's not right for you, or you want to change your mind. You of course can do that with a valid reason, though. It shouldn't be like for you shouldn't be wasting somebody's time there, because these are all important people.
Correct. Also, for your own company, equity is very important. You should not dilute, because otherwise in future rounds there can be a problem of raising money.
Absolutely. But again, it goes to, like, for example, if I give you a hindsight view, if I did have Anupam on board right now at a 15% for 50 lakhs, the smallest amount possible, but yeah, let's say I did it. Would my future rounds be easy? Yes, of course, because he was on the table. It would be so easy for us to just go and say that we have Anupam on the board, right? And then everything ahead becomes easy. So we need to take the sharks not just for the money, but for the value that they bring. So of course, we definitely are more than aware of what value these sharks bring, be it Ghazal, be it like Vinita, or be it Anupam. All of them have created something, have come, and their name stands for more than more than you right now on the company, I feel, for smaller scale companies, because when nobody knows you and suddenly you associate yourself with an Anupam Mittal or somebody, then everybody gets to know you, right? So yeah, again, sharks are not just for the money, but they also bring a lot more. So that's a hindsight, that if we had taken it, our future round would, but we wanted to make our first round difficult. Probably that is what we were going for.
Got it. So right now you are still self-funded. Are you looking for?
We are raising currently.
Okay, you are in talks.
Yeah. Once that's closed, we will obviously let that information out. But we're currently raising.
Got it. Understood. Also, because from your experience, you work with your sibling, so your brother.
Yeah.
Tell us about how's that experience like, because usually there would be some fights or something. Tell us about that.
It's very funny for you to ask me that question firstly, because I have been asked this question like a million times now already by investors, by like absolutely anybody. And people say that they can't work with their siblings. To be honest, I was one person who thought that I can't work with my whole family. Because because I was like, you can't do that. Like that I felt personally that you won't have that kind of a mental freedom to kind of do what you feel like, and there's always going to be somebody watching you or looking at you or all of that. So again, those misconceptions are always there as a teenager and as a adolescent when you're growing. But again, depending on what's more important for you and your sibling or whoever you're working with. To be honest, there's a stat that India has the least amount of friendship startups, where two friends have done a startup. We have the least amount of those, and we have the highest amount of family-based or like brother and sister startups, or brother and brother startup, or like husband and wife startups. So these are more, but friend and friend is lesser. So here, to be honest, it makes life easier for me, because he will understand me at the end of the day, and there is again, there has to be no commitment issues here, because we go back to the same home, right? So we can put things on the table and kind of rediscuss them again. So we can do that. I feel like if you get the opportunity to work with your sibling, grab it. Just grab it, because I feel like it's great. They are one person that you can blindly trust, right? And they are going to invest as much as you will invest in the company, and because you all are going to be making something, building something together, it's going to kind of reflect on the whole family. And personally also, emotionally also, I feel like it's a lot better. It's the safest bid, to be honest, to kind of work with your sibling. Actually, the safest bid is to work with anybody you trust. To wherever there's a lacking trust factor, it becomes difficult. We also have our share of this is not right and that's not right, and maybe you should do it this way, maybe you should do it this way. But we let each others be in whatever field we're good. right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm good in so and so, he will listen to me. If he's good in so and so, I will listen to him.
Yeah.
These basic understandings can, give you the smoothest walk of life in business, to be honest.
Got it.
So that's just, I feel like whoever kind of has this mentality of not working with their family or not working, I feel like that's the most stupid decision ever. I feel like go for it. Just go for it. Husband, wife, brother, sister, whatever it is, just.
Got it. So let's move to our last round, which is called as lightning round. I'll ask you questions, whatever comes to your mind. You just
Oh
have
my
to.
God. Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
let's-
okay, do the answers have to be like long or like
no,
one
no,
word?
short is fine.
Short is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start with very basic. Mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
Cat person or dog person?
Dog person.
Who's your favorite shark?
Anupam.
Except Anupam now.
Except Anupam, I would say Piyush.
Piyush Bansal.
Yeah.
Can you tell us any favorite, whatever your favorite Shark Tank dialogue?
For
Dialogue.
favorite Shark Tank dialogue?
Yeah.
I don't think I can think about any right now.
Anything? Okay. They've been famous, like Ashni's dialogue has been most famous. So yeah, but ठीक है. Okay, let's leave it.
हाँ वो बना लेंगे कुछ भी वो अमन had said ना something हम तो
अमन.
कुछ भी बना लेंगे or something
हम
like
भी
that.
बना लेंगे.
हम भी बना लेंगे right.
Yeah. Bumble or Shadi.com?
Oh my God, I think none right now. None right now.
Anupam is listening, but
Probably.
what keeps you up at night?
When I can't do my sales well. That keeps me up at night.
Best club wherever in Bombay or anywhere else?
I would say I'm not that much of a clubbing person, but like a
Club
good
or-
party in the mountains again, in the hills, or probably like a soul or something would be great.
So when are you planning your next hill, mountain or whatever
Very
trekking?
soon, in another 10-20 days.
Any impulsive purchase that you regret and you don't, whatever. One which you regret and which you don't.
There's actually a very tiny story. I got a bunch of kind of expensive things for myself. Like I got shoes and I got some nice jeans and all of that. Those were expensive at some price. And I was coming and I left them in the Ola. And then the Ola guy did not return it to me. And what's impulsive here that I regret doing is I went back the same day and bought the same things again. So that was absolutely stupid of me. Like I should have punished myself for losing it in the first place. But I was so impulsive and then I just went back and then I just got the same thing and got it back. So yeah.
And the last question, what is success for you?
I feel like I will determine success based on just like, when I have to do anything in life, I don't kind of want to think about money twice. That's one, that's the material part of it. And secondly, success for me is creating something that kind of stays even after you're gone.
Yeah.
It should linger, the name should always be there, like a Shadi.com or like a Bumble or like a Zomato. These are not gonna go.
Away.
These are not, these are there in our nerves right now. We use them every day. So like creating something that's there after you're gone is actual terms of success. But if you say like the material part of it, which is money, then I feel like I don't wanna, kind of want to think twice about money before doing anything in my life, be it like, giving bonus to my employees or be it like getting the best stuff for my mom or like any of that sort, be it as small as like buying something for me. But like I don't want to have that double thought of money. So I feel like these two things would, if I get them, then I am successful.
Got it. Thank you so much, Priyam, for coming on the show. We have heard, it's a great story to hear, and also everybody should know how the Shark Tank process works.
Absolutely,
But thank you so
absolutely.
much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm more than kind of happy to be here.
Special thanks to the team Origin for allowing us to use this space for the shoot.